Doofs. I'm Drew, and I've seen a lot of movies.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Joe.
And we haven't seen nearly as many movies as Drew has.
That's right. So this podcast is a podcast where basically we watch movies, but I make Brian and Joe guess what those movies are about that they've never seen based solely on what they know from pop culture references and maybe some childhood memories. I don't
Visions,
know.
dreams
I'm
from
not
the
in
past.
their. Yeah, I'm not
Flipping
in their
through the
heads.
channels, seeing a clip from a movie,
Yeah.
and then being like, oh, that must be Jaws, and then moving
Exactly.
on.
Yeah.
So that's this whole game that we play in the beginning. Then we hang out, watch the movie, talk a little bit about it, and afterwards we see how close they were. So what do you guys think? Excited?
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good. And this time we're actually recording at my house. So just a quick little dog watch. My dog is very small and very noisy, so you may hear her at some point throughout the recording.
She is sniffing the microphone right now,
Yep.
which is exciting. Also, before we jump into anything else, one of our, I will call him a rabid listener because I constantly get texts from him saying how much he enjoys it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good buddy Bill Cathcart here pointed out that during our Who Framed Roger Rabbit episode, one of us, I'm going to blame you guys because I've seen the movie more than once, but I didn't make a correction, so I must not have heard it or I didn't realize. But we called the cigar-smoking baby Huey at some point. And Bill wanted to make sure that we knew that is Baby Herman. Not Baby Huey. Bill, thanks again.
Thanks, Bill.
Everybody else, call us out on our shit. It's cool.
Yeah.
We'll give you a shout out too.
Tweet at us at Reel Doofs on Twitter.
Sweet. So, moving on, guys. Tonight we have
What are we watching?
I'm so excited.
we have something that's kind of special. Actually, this is actually I think our first. No, it's our second movie that's actually in the 90s. Terminator 2 episode was 91, but this is a little. We're moving up a little bit. We're getting a little closer. Tonight we are watching the 1995 spectacular The Usual Suspects, directed by
Alright.
Bryan Singer. Wah, wah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's okay, guys. I mean, this is that weird thing of like, but it's such a phenomenal movie.
This is fun because this is the first time we've watched a movie that I was alive for. I was in the world.
I hate you so much.
yeah, me too, actually.
You guys are
Yeah.
the worst. Yeah, so what do you guys know about The Usual Suspects?
I know
Nothing.
literally nothing.
Yeah. This is the first time where it's not like, at least Jaws, there's a shark.
Yeah.
Terminator, there's a robot, Arnold's in it. There's like little things that
Yep.
we're able to pick up on.
Yep.
I don't know who is in this movie.
Yep.
And I don't know what the plot is.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't even know it was 95 until just now. This is going to be a fun one to try to piece together.
Yeah.
It is. I'm excited to hear what you guys think it's about based on the fact that you believe you know nothing about it. This is going to be one of the cool things that I'm going to tell you right now. This is one of those movies that you will see plenty of references that you have seen in other things. This
Cool.
is a movie
Okay,
that
cool.
has a lot of that cool stuff to it. But the only other thing I can do, because I want you to guess what you think it's about, I need you to have a little bit of something. So I'm going to tell you the genre.
Okay.
What this movie fits
I mean,
into.
yeah, we
okay?
can.
That
You know
seems
what?
fair.
Do you think we can guess the genre, Brian? We
Yeah,
probably
can we try to
it.
guess before you give it to us?
Absolutely.
We'll just take one stab at it?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely in line with like Goodfellas, Godfather,
That's
drama, kind of like
a crime drama?
Crime
I
drama?
was gonna say crime drama.
Okay. You guys are really very close. It is considered a crime thriller. So
Okay.
a little more fast-paced than a drama.
Okay.
And the only other detail I'm going to give you before I have you guys start guessing, because actually I think this might make your guesses pretty phenomenal, this is a heist movie.
Oh.
I wanted to set you up there because I think we can have a lot of fun what you think is going to happen.
Okay.
So are you guys ready to make predictions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you just a couple questions to guide you. I promise not lead you,
Okay.
but to guide you. So I'm going to start.
What's the difference?
I want you to think of some things.
Yeah.
Okay. Such as this. How many people are in this group of suspects?
Ooh.
Is it a lot? Is it a little?
I'm going to go with 4.
4?
I'm going to go with 4.
How many in... I have seen this movie. How many are in... not Usual Suspects.
Oh.
I've seen The Breakfast Club, but how many people are in The Breakfast Club?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. There's like the...
Is it 6?
There's the jock.
There's the jock, there's the nerd.
The nerd.
There's the...
Like the outcast, the princess.
outcast,
five.
the princess.
5? I
and
think 5. I think that this is...
the bully.
Now that I know it's a heist, especially, I think this is The Breakfast Club. But with
crime
criminals. But a crime thriller Breakfast Club.
Okay, cool.
Where you
Ooh, I
have
like
the different
that.
sort of characters in this group that sort of match the Breakfast Club characters.
Yep, okay.
And in their like crime specialties,
Yep.
and you're gonna get someone in there who's like, I'm not usually part of this group. Everyone else in there is the usual
okay.
suspects, but
Yeah.
one person's gonna be sort of like new to the whole thing.
Cool.
That's cool. That's a cool way to think. Who in the Breakfast Club is not used to it? Is it the princess?
I
'Cause
don't
aren't
remember.
they-
It's been a while since I've seen Breakfast Club.
I believe the Breakfast Club because they're all
No,
different
I
groups.
think
They're
the-
all not. They're all different.
Yeah, in
members.
that one they're not all like there. It's there's only one in the Breakfast Club. It's one person who's usually in detention, right? That's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
but
And
it's-
everyone else it's happenstance
just
that they're
there,
all there
yeah,
at the same
yeah,
time.
Yes, so they're all like, I don't belong with you guys. That's like,
I think it's
yeah.
opposite here, where it's the usual suspects, and this one person is sort of gets caught up in the wrong crowd, and now he's one of the usual suspects.
Okay, cool.
So, do you have
He
any
or
more,
she.
Do you have any more leading questions before we make our guesses? Did you have any more?
No, I
Okay.
just wanted you
All
to
right.
know how many suspects there are.
I think so. I think there's this group of. I'm still gonna stick with 4. Brian, you're going
Okay.
with 5. 4 people, guys, girls, whatever, and they're usually the suspects for a crime that might happen in the area or I don't know city, and they're the first people that the cops start to investigate just because they're
I agree with that.
probably okay,
Yes.
and I think a crime is going to happen, and it's not going to be them. They're going to be proven innocent in this crime, and they're going to be asked to help find the real people who committed the crime.
Sort of like a Suicide Squad thing where it's like, you guys are bad guys, but we need your help.
Yeah, like the police are going to go to these guys and be like, "Hey, pull off this thing with us to catch the real criminals."
Yeah, and to do it, they need to do a heist to steal back the thing from the other criminals.
Or yeah, like exactly. Yeah. They need to do a heist, some kind of First of all, does a heist always have to do with like stealing money or stealing something?
Stealing something.
Okay, it's usually about
generally.
stealing. Okay,
It's
okay.
usually,
I didn't know if it was
heist
like
is-
always stealing or if it also included just like pulling a crime.
I guess
off in a
it's
group.
pulling off a caper.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be money related, but typically it always is when we see it.
I pull off a
screen.
caper every time I get a piccata. I hate those little green things.
I was just gonna ask you, what does that mean? Pull off a caper.
Yeah, it's like a heist basically, like a little.
Okay.
You've never. Am I that old that you guys can just anybody listening to this? You've heard the phrase like this
I've
is a
never
caper.
heard of caper before.
You've never heard of
except for the food.
Okay, moving on. Police ask them
Yeah.
for help to steal something back.
to like help them, not necessarily steal.
It's almost
I guess I
like-
don't. Maybe that's not where the heist is.
Do they want the police are asking them to do it so they're not circumventing the law?
No, I think it's kind of like they're gonna work together. It's not necessarily. I don't know.
Police
actually.
and criminal work together.
I think the police
At some point.
No, you know what?
Okay.
Maybe the police do like stay out of it because there's going to be illegal activity in it, and so they're asking. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of sketchy.
It's sort of interesting if they do get a little dirty in there.
Yeah,
and they're like, the only way we're going to catch these criminals is with other criminals. Let's get in the usual suspects.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like bring
They're like
them
a
in.
team.
Yeah, they're like a team, and then they do the heist, and then maybe it's sort of like an Ocean's 11 thing where they do the heist and the cops think that they helped them, but really all along
my
they got to steal the thing
gosh.
for themselves.
Or they just got to like give them cause to actually arrest them. Like it's basically like they did the heist and then it's a twist. Like the cops are like,
shit! Like
yeah,
the cops
you just
are like,
stole.
yeah, you did steal it. We got you.
Exactly.
The cops are like, hey, go steal that thing, and then they do it.
Yeah, it's basically, maybe the cops are like, we need to set up, we need to like stage an event for and pretend to ask these usual suspects.
They need like a posse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like we need to pretend like we're asking these guys for a favor, make them seem like they're doing us a favor, and then once they do this illegal activity, we catch them and then actually finally put them away or something like that.
I love that. That seems really good.
And do the usual suspects outsmart the cops, or do they get arrested at
Is
the
that
end?
a leading question? I don't know.
No, it's not. I'm asking. I'm just asking you.
We're probably
I'd like
way
to-
off from the plot.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that they outsmart the cops, and it's like an Ocean's 11 scenario where you're like, oh, yep, they caught him, because how could they? Oh, no shit, they're like 3 steps ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Alternative plot here. What if the usual suspects are not criminals, completely upstanding citizens, and they just have doppelgangers that are all committing crimes? And then the usual suspects are like, oh man, we're always the usual. They always keep getting us in here, and we haven't done nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
All right. Let me move this forward a little bit too.
All right.
What is it that they're stealing?
The Pink Panther diamond. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's something important to the police department or governmental party that's involved. And
I thought you were going to say
keeping
something
them-
important to the plot.
No, I think it's important keeping them keeping like something closed, like it's keeping something private because it's about to get out and it's about to tarnish their name. So it's like, we need to get this document or whatever because it has some dirty information about us in it. So let's get these suspects, usual suspects,
That's
to
what I
steal
think.
it for us.
Okay, cool.
I think it's
And
either
then-
that or nothing. And we never find out what it is that they're stealing. It's sort of like
Ooh.
the suitcase in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Where we never really know what's inside of it.
Okay.
It's just sort of like hinted at.
When was
Like they give it a code name.
when did Pulp Fiction come
94.
out? 94, and this came out in
95.
95? Ooh, I can totally see Usual Suspects like kind of taking that idea with the suitcase in Pulp Fiction and just kind of not revealing it.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like, not that we know anything about the plot so far, but it doesn't seem like that, like we would need to know. If it's all about the usual suspects and the act of the heist itself,
Yeah, yeah.
there's nothing about what they're stealing that we would really have to know, unless it was like some sort of files to finally put someone away.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You know, if this isn't the plot at all to Usual Suspects, we should write this movie.
Yeah, I think that this is a great movie that we've started.
Yeah, I mean, I feel we also referenced how this plot is 3 other movies that are out already. So
Yeah.
That's true.
maybe. I mean, Hollywood loves a reboot. Maybe we do.
I think we're
They'll
gonna
eat
get
this right up. Yeah.
I think we're gonna get like a main character from the police side of things, like some detective who's
Yeah,
like
okay.
really keen on putting away the usual suspects or the alternative thieves of this thing. If we're going with the plot that like they're helping the police, then like there's a detective who's really keen on like throwing them all in jail.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's a scene, or maybe it's like I don't know, maybe it's like the classic movie poster or something, but I feel like there's a famous part where they're like in a lineup.
Okay,
They're
they get arrested at one point.
They're just like, they are like the people behind the glass and like the what's it called? The person who witnesses the witness.
Yeah.
The witness is like, behind the glass and they're pointing them out in a lineup.
I
What
bet
is that
it
called?
opens with that.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay.
I bet it opens with a lineup.
Oh, okay.
And then then they leave, and it's just like a casual thing for them because they are the
'cause
usual
they're-
suspects.
yeah.
So they're just like, all right, you guys want to get lunch? Get some shawarma.
And the cops are like, "Hey, like, haven't seen you in a..." Or no,
Yeah.
they probably see each other a lot.
Oh yeah, like
But
they
they're
call a
probably
cop
just, like,
by
catching-
name on their
yeah,
way out.
Yeah, they're like,
All right, see you
catching
later,
up.
Jeff.
Yeah,
Right?
see you next week. You know.
All right, guys. I'm going to ask you just a couple random questions like I always do before a movie starts.
Yep.
How is Bilbo Baggins?
So,
Oh no!
how do you think... Now, you're going to have to wait to the end of the movie, but think about this during the movie, okay?
Oh boy.
Okay.
How do you think this movie connects with the Fox Marvel movies, Disney Marvel movies, and one DC movie? Think about that. There is a connection in this movie between the Fox Marvel movies, the old Fox Marvel movies before Disney, to the current Disney MCU, and to one fairly recent, in the last 15 years, DC movie. And then you will see an actor from Breaking Bad in this. I want you to identify that actor when you see him.
Can we guess now? Because we haven't guessed any actors yet, and
Yes.
I feel like usually we
So,
know at least one actor who's in these.
The Breaking Bad actor is a not a cameo, but a small part. This is 95, way before Breaking Bad. It may or may not be a main character, but I'm going to flat out say it's not Jesse because he'd be a little baby at this point.
Yeah,
But
I'm thinking Bryan Cranston, and he's the cop that gets called by name.
Cranston.
I think it's.
This is right around Malcolm in the Middle, right?
a couple years
A
before.
couple years before.
Yeah, he'd be in Seinfeld at this point though.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Elaine's
wonder
boyfriend.
how. When you say Breaking Bad character,
A Breaking Bad
actor,
character.
actor,
Yeah, actor. Yeah, not the actual character, but an actor.
Oh,
I'm wondering, like, how big in the show do they need to be for you to consider them a Breaking Bad actor? you know? So I'm
they
thinking-
could
Yeah, like it could be Walt. It could
I can
be
tell you-
Bryan Cranston, or it could be like.
I'm not even going to tell you anything. Just guess.
I'm gonna go with Mike. Better Call Saul's guy.
I was going to guess Saul.
Saul. Okay, all right.
I think
So
Saul's one of the
Cranston,
usual
like-
suspects.
Ooh, I like that.
He seems like
he seems
like
he would be one of those.
He'd be a little bit younger then.
At this point, Bob Odenkirk is well known
Yeah.
for comedy.
Okay.
So we think we have.
Like, I think it's going to be
Cranston?
funny. I think the criminals are going to be funny in this.
Yeah,
I would
they're going to be
surprised if Bob
entertaining
Odenkirk
to
is-
watch.
Oh,
yeah.
I hope so. In this crime thriller, we're talking about
They'll be
having
funny.
these
Criminals are always funny.
criminals. Yeah, they're not Joe Pesci from Home Alone, okay, or Daniel Stern. This is not the Wet Bandits or the Sticky Bandits. This is a hard rated R movie. Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, you ready to watch The Usual Suspects?
Let's watch it.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, we didn't.
Bad Head Harry.
We didn't guess like where it takes place
Oh,
or
shit.
like when. Probably, I'm gonna guess 1994 I'm gonna guess New York City.
Okay.
Chicago. Late 80s.
Okay.
Kevin.
Oh shit,
Wow.
Kevin Spacey. There's all kinds of bad people in this one. Ooh.
Benicio del Toro.
That's the Marvel connection.
Oh.
Interesting fact too. It said music by John Ottman, and it also said edited by John Ottman, which is really cool to have a film editor also be the person who scores your movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
California, not New York.
San Pedro.
And this was
California.
last night, guys.
Last night.
Oh, this is in 2019.
2019, yeah.
I think it's safe to say this movie does not start with a lineup.
Yep.
The lineup's right inside.
Oh, it's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Line up this way. Yeah.
Now, didn't someone say we'd see him get all rounded up?
New York Police Department.
Oh yeah. They're assembling the dream team.
There you go.
Of the usual suspects.
I like how casual they're all being about it so far.
Watch Benicio del Toro.
Oh shit, what's up? He's so young.
A lot of eyeliner.
Great suit. That his dad let him borrow.
Already.
At that point, I wasn't.
Line
One,
One.
knew I had
two,
everything
3,
Besides,
4.
it was fun. I got
5.
Victorious.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Good guess.
Money.
Kevin Spacey has a wicked widow's peak in this.
Yeah, it's sharp as fuck. That's Agent Coulson.
He's the connection to all the... No, because he's not in the Fox Marvel movies.
Please don't touch me.
And he's not in every Marvel movie.
He has burns over 60% of
Is there
That
one
is 100%.
connection?
Call hospital security.
I didn't realize Clark Gregg was in this.
Is he dangerous?
Yes.
About Dean Keaton mostly.
He reminds me of Buster
But I like
from
to
Arrested
start with the lineup back
Development.
in New York.
in this.
In a while. Let's talk about the lineup.
I'm really thirsty. I used to dehydrate as a
Unless they think he's dead.
It's finished.
We didn't see him get shot on that boat.
And he does have a doppelganger.
And he does have a doppelganger. Like, it's a Buster outfit, too. He's got the sweater vest.
The little,
I love you.
like, strut.
Yeah, a little prance.
I mean, it's because his leg is messed up.
It's like he's doing a caper.
I love you.
Or he ate some capers.
Do you hear me?
So vinegary and delicious.
Those little plant eggs. I don't know what capers are. This is heist music.
This is very heisty music.
Oh, that's a guy begging to be stolen from.
New York's finest taxi service was not
Like, he walks around with bags of money and people are just constantly stealing from them.
Ran a high profit racket.
So that was their big plan. There it is.
That's the end of the... That's the big heist.
That's it.
I do fit.
Now the doppelganger plot comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Isn't Kobayashi the test that Captain Kirk has to go through to get into the
No.
academy?
No.
Okay.
We arrived in Los
Kobayashi
Angeles
Maru.
and
It's
met
like a
the police
test.
Okay.
He had a good reputation.
Alright, the Kobayashi Maru.
Still. We're on vacation.
This guy with the glasses and the hair.
That's
He, like-
Baldwin.
Ugh.
I got a ton of work and I don't have any good people.
He, like,
Like you guys.
killed cats in his parents' backyard when he was a
Jeweler out
kid.
of Texas
For sure.
named Saul.
Do you think this is the heist that they do, but then they like turn it around on the
Oh, on Soze?
yeah?
Yeah.
You think so? Or is there another heist? 'Cause
No,
there's been
no,
1,000 heists so far.
No, this is like the heist.
They're gonna do something ulterior during this. Like... Because this is the boat where he dies.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, because that was the beginning of the movie.
All they said was $9 million. I guess you're right.
Yes.
I don't know. This is bad.
That's bullshit.
What is his accent?
The LAPD. Fucking setup.
Lisp.
The way he is on
There's definitely like some kind of lisp. No, maybe not a lisp.
Psycho. Fucked up butcher.
There is no Kaiser Soze.
Be great if Keaton was Soze, and he fakes his own death at the end. Goes into hiding
Doppelganger.
again.
Oh, he's not even a doppelganger. I love it.
Fenster was gone.
Kobayashi really is like the Kobayashi Maru, isn't he? He's the unwinnable test.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can't be done.
So motivational. You know, when you said heist, I kept thinking Ocean's 11. And this is not as graceful. There's a lot more killing people in this.
Yeah, it's not like a George Clooney heist.
Yeah, Brad Pitt hasn't eaten anything.
Yeah, this one's like, oh, we're gonna ambush them.
Yeah, we'll just blow stuff up and shoot them all, and then we win the heist. That's how we win the heist, right?
Impossible job, remember? Oh, where's Hockney gone?
Nothing's impossible.
That's right.
Oh, it's fucking... Forgot his name already, but Kevin... This guy.
Buster.
Buster Spacey. He's Kaiser Soze. He's pretending to have a limp.
We saw Kaiser Soze. He's Antonio Banderas.
He was Fabio. He had the...
Yeah. Graceful hair.
Oh, I loved that hair. It was so good. I don't buy it. That's not it. It's something else.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not a rat, but it was all keyed.
It's obvious. It's obvious.
The cripple, which way did he go?
He's just gonna straighten up and walk right out.
Why don't you say something?
Or run.
I'm smarter than you, and I'm gonna find out what I want to know.
What I want to know is who's the gimp.
You know the whole
Oh, shit!
If he comes up first, Kaiser says get rid of me.
I'm sure Keaton is dead. I can't fail.
All right, guys. Usual suspects. What'd you think?
I really liked it.
Yeah, I really liked the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The big
Like
part.
yeah,
There's
the
a lot of setup in this movie.
Yeah, there was. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right into it. That scene in the beginning when you saw the shadowy figure light his cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was the smoothest you've ever seen someone use a Zippo.
Yep.
Yes.
I was like, wow, that was smooth. I was like, that was cool.
Yeah.
Super smooth. And then maybe 10 minutes later, you see, what's his name?
Verbal.
Verbal?
Yep, Kevin Spacey, yeah.
You see Kevin Spacey's character in The Office
Fumble
on the Zippo, like the worst
Yeah.
you've ever seen someone use a Zippo. And I instantly thought, oh, he's faking it.
Really?
But I didn't mention it at all because I was just trying to figure out what's happening in this
Sure.
movie.
I thought
had
he-
a really...
I was just gonna say, I thought he faked that moment. I didn't put together that he was faking the whole thing.
I didn't-
until much, much later. But I was
Right.
like, why did he intentionally drop that Zippo? I thought he
Yeah.
was gonna unplug something or reach over and do something. But
Same. I thought he was gonna reach over or something, but I had a hard time following just the general what they were doing. It
Yeah.
obviously in the end it obviously wasn't about it wasn't about what they were doing on the bow and the two little pre-heists they had. None of that was really important, but it would have been better had I been following it a little bit better. 'Cause
Okay.
I had a hard time just hearing some of the lines and stuff. But
yeah.
Sure.
To be fair, my dog was also very loudly chewing a bone, so
Yes.
hopefully I'll be able to edit most of that out. But just really going to town on a treat I gave her. I was like, this will keep her quiet.
It was, to me, it was pretty awesome, actually. Okay, so for the most part, you enjoyed the ending, though. The last part, the big reveal, everything
Yeah.
like that, the most.
Yeah.
What did you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There was a lot of setup to get there, but it really tied a lot of those pieces in at the end. When he said gold lighter, I remembered the gold lighter from the beginning, and
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh shit,
yeah.
it's his lighter. I also think that, you mentioned in the beginning how the person who did the music also did the editing,
Yeah.
and I felt that the entire time. Every
Yeah.
scene was crescendo, and it was building up, and there were multiple moments where the music matched the editing and matched the filming almost. And the end was really where you could tell that a musician put it together, because all the previous lines were overlapping and building, and it kept crescendoing to this moment where he starts walking. That shot of him walking
absolutely.
straight was the climax of that scene where it's finally admits he was making it.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
And all the little the building of the little words he had mentioned in
Yes.
the interview,
Yes.
the different words you see on the bulletin board, like Guatemala and.
Do you guys recall seeing that scene in pop culture anywhere else? I'm pretty confident they did that exact scene in Family Guy at some point, with the mug falling and like.
Oh yeah, the mug falling is like very vivid to me, but like someone using all of the words from a wall in like a police interrogation is I've seen that dozens of times. I couldn't pick out what.
Yeah. One interesting thing to mention about the editing and the score, John Ottman is frequent collaborator with Bryan Singer, but he always pretty much, if he's the editor, does the score, he's editing the movie too.
Wow.
He just won an Academy Award for editing Bohemian Rhapsody. He did the score and he edited because Bryan Singer was fired from that movie. But he was on for that. And so you can tell he's
I can see that
pristinely.
Yeah.
Though not to shit on John Ottman, but that movie wasn't edited that well. So just
It's not his fault though.
No, it is his fault because he edited the movie.
But wasn't there like change in like the?
Yeah, dude, he put that movie together, and most of the movie's actually edited really well. It's just that one scene of Littlefinger coming to like say like I should be your band manager. It has the weirdest cuts between people. Just look it up sometime. Just like, even John Ottman's like, I don't know why I won after this scene.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
I've seen that movie too. I don't know. I don't remember it being. I don't remember that moment being bad.
I don't remember it being bad until it was pointed out to me, and I actually watched the cut on YouTube, and it's literally like it's just jump cut to everybody's face in the middle of a conversation. There's no smoothness to it. It's just like face,
and
face.
And it was like the conversation didn't flow at all.
It's weird.
It was just
But
weird cuts
it's
were
the only thing. I don't want to shit on John Ottman, honestly, because I actually like I like your style. It's cool.
Yeah. Has he did Batman?
No, he. Excuse me, has not done any of the Batman movies.
Okay. It felt very Batman-y in a couple moments.
Yeah, totally.
I was getting very like Gotham-y vibes, like the 80s Batman movies.
Yeah, no, he did not do any of the Burton ones or anything like that.
Okay.
So let me ask a couple questions. First, did you guys did you figure out all the connections, the Marvel and DC connection?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
it's with like Clark Gregg was the Marvel one. Bryan Singer's the guy who directed the X-Men movies.
Okay, so you got your Fox ones right there.
Oh, I thought it was a single thing.
No, it's not like that. Just a couple things in there. So you got Clark Gregg, who I wasn't even thinking about.
Yeah,
I
so
was
there's a different Marvel
the
one.
Collector, Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro. Okay, yep.
And then your one DC connection.
You said, when you said DC movies, you said last 15 years, so that makes me think
2006.
It's like Superman?
Superman Returns.
Yeah.
Directed by Bryan Singer and who was Lex Luthor? Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor in that?
And he was actually a pretty good Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I could see him being a good Lex Luthor. I mean, not as good as, what's his face from...
The Social Network?
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg? Yes.
Yeah. He's a very good.
Yes, awesome.
Very good. I'm not even joking. I think he's I really enjoy him as Lex Luthor.
No. Yeah.
I know people shit on him for it,
Yes.
but I think he's very interesting to me.
I like him and everything he does. He's a really good actor. Yeah.
So let's go over some of the stats.
Yeah.
Some of your predictions.
Ooh, okay.
Our scores.
4 to 5 suspects.
We did pretty good.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It started with 5. It ended with 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say you both get that.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Next thing I have here. A crime thriller breakfast club. I'm going to say nay to that.
No, hang on. Let me defend my Breakfast Club here. It was a little campy. They had a lot of jokes. They were very funny. And they each had like a specialty. They each had like a thing that they were good at. So it like defined character traits. And I did say that it was like a reverse Breakfast Club where it was like the majority of them were in it and there was one person who was like an outsider. And like in the beginning, for sure, that was like the intent.
All right, Brian.
I think I get like a half point.
I give it to you, Brian.
I'll give you the point for that because you explained it very well. Okay. All right. This one I can't give you a point. Well, no, actually, this one I will also give you a point for. Always got the police on them. Yes. Yeah, they do. That's really the whole start of the movie is
Yep.
because the police are always on them.
Yeah, they were so casual about getting picked up.
Ask to help, like in the Suicide Squad. This one is a no-go because we were intended that it was the police that was asking for their help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in fact, their whole starting point was fuck the police.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was great, by the way. I think, keep going, sorry.
Okay, let me go through the next few. They steal the thing for themselves. Well, I was going to say that essentially the offer was take the money
if you want
get
it,
rid of the coke. So I'll give you that.
Yeah, okay.
The cops betray the usual suspects. They have in the past, but actually not even betray them. No, that's just wrong. No.
They're just trying to catch them.
Yeah, they're just trying to catch them.
It's trying to catch
Okay.
them. That's the wrong one.
They outsmart the cops. They did at the Blue Taxi Service.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yes.
If you count Kaiser Soze,
Yes.
he also very much so outsmarted.
Yeah, if you count Marvel,
he outsmarted everyone.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, next one. Doppelgangers?
There was no doppelgangers.
But it was a cool theory. It was a nice theory.
Wait, so pause. Who is the guy all burned up in the hospital bed?
He was one of the people who was just literally being shot to pieces, and he identified who Kaiser Soze was.
Okay.
The guy with the cool mustache that was like, hey, Kaiser Soze.
Was the guy who could identify...
Yes, and that was the real reason of this entire heist.
Yes.
It was a killing heist.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a murder heist.
It was a murder heist.
Wait, but the guy who was burned...
Was not the mustache guy.
No,
who shot
but
him.
he could also identify...
Right, because they didn't know he was alive. So he wasn't. There was no. They didn't like Kaiser Soze didn't know he was actually alive. He thought he was dead in the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So most likely that dude is gonna die.
Yeah. He dies in Usual Suspects too.
The more usual suspects.
The suspect-ier and the usual-ier.
Yes. Let's see here. So what they were going to steal was something important to the police. Keeping something private was the goal.
Ooh.
I don't think that was it.
I don't think that works.
No.
Because it was literally they were stealing.
Yeah.
I mean, they really weren't stealing anything. They just went to go kill a bunch of people.
Here's the next one. Could be nothing at all that they steal.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sort of what happened.
It was sort of what happened. That was pretty good.
I think we meant that it would be not revealed and not that it was absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Like still steal a physical object, but we're not sure what that object is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rat us out on that one. I'm gonna be the narc on that and say we didn't get it.
Okay. Some detective being the main character. Yeah, Kuyan was kind of the main character. I mean, if you could say there was a main character, it was really much more of an ensemble, the whole thing.
Which I finally realized what he's from, or what I seen him from, Modern Family.
Yes, actually, yes. Chaz Palantino has been in it. He's Jay's friend.
Jay's best friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's been in a ton of things also. All right, and then, of course, the last thing that you guys said was, there will be a lineup.
Yes.
Nailed it.
There was.
Yes.
It didn't open with it, but it happened.
Yeah.
There was a great lineup.
That was a good lineup scene.
And
that I feel like I've seen before. Like that seems like that's been parodied as well.
now there's like a production company that uses their silhouettes. Is it Bad Hat Harry?
Bad Hat Harry. That's Bryan Singer's production company.
Oh.
Which, remember, the tie back, Bad Hat Harry is the line that Chief Brody says to this guy on the beach in Jaws.
Yes.
Because Singer is a huge Spielberg fan.
Wow.
And what has Bad Hat Harry recently put out? Because I've seen that lineup
Recently, I believe
opening somewhere.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. That's where I've seen it.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
The X-Men, the new X-Men movies,
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. He got fired off Dark Phoenix too, but I think that might have been. No, he didn't get fired.
Dark Phoenix
he
2?
didn't do Dark Phoenix.
I can't wait for Dark
He did
Phoenix 2.
Apocalypse and
It's one of those great sequels.
Oh no!
Probably better than the original.
Yeah,
One of those
yeah.
sequels
I mean,
that's
this
better
was
than the
technically Dark Phoenix 2 because X-Men 3 was Dark Phoenix. But anyway, we'll get out of that. Here's a fact about this movie. Kevin Spacey won his first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for this role.
Oh, awesome.
Oh.
You know, I was watching him like in the first maybe like 20 minutes, and I was just watching him and I was like, he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
I was like, he's doing a really good job with this role already. I don't even
Yes,
know the
he is a
character,
really good
but-
actor. Personal, we're not sure if that's a good talking point, but he's a very good actor. And then, this is an interesting one for you guys too. Pete Green. He's the actor who plays Redfoot in the movie, the skinny guy who like meets them out in that area, and he's like,
Yeah.
here's the job.
Yep.
So Pete Green, when he flicks his cigarette at Baldwin at McManus,
Yep.
that was unscripted.
Oh shit.
So the thing hit Baldwin in the face. Their reactions are all real reactions to
That's cool.
to them until it cuts. It's only a quick second, but everyone's like, hey! Like that, and then Kevin Spacey like pulls a gun out, and that's just not part of it. But
Right.
But
Yeah.
the flick was real.
Wow.
Oh, also a little just like I get a scene now. When Verbal shot the guy in the car, he like remember and
I remember.
Yeah, shot
What do you
the guy
remember?
right in the head. It was just like he had been convincing the cop that no way he could have shot the devil in the back. What if you missed? And he was showing his like cripple hand.
Oh,
kind
and it
of.
was like a dead shot.
yeah, it was
really
a
good.
spot on shot, super quick, came out of nowhere, just. Poof.
He's
Right in the head.
also
It's
the
like-
guy who's only done the light crimes, fraud, things
Yeah,
like that, and
yeah.
no fear. Just like we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, that was kind of
It's-
uncharacteristic. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
They sprinkle the hints throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
But the thing about this too is this is 95, right? So the 90s, the entire decade of the 90s, there was just a thing about having movies that have twist endings. Whether or not they were
okay.
good or not, there are every single year there are a handful of these movies that are meant
Wow.
to be twisty and turny. This was probably one of the most effective in the 90s. This is like one of the big ones. Like this, when this came out, man, this is, everyone was talking and like, you can't even talk, I can't tell you anything about this movie because I'll ruin this movie.
Wow.
It was a huge effect. Yeah, exciting
That's cool.
too when you
Yeah.
can land that really well. And I think today, the way that movies work and how things are spelt out and how much more detail has to be given, when you guys watch something like this, I think you figure it out
A bit sooner.
My
Yeah.
wife was the same way. We watched this and together, and she was able to figure it out at the end. Right before it was revealed, she
Yeah.
was like calling it. I think that at the time, we just it wasn't, it's almost in our nature now that it can't be a straightforward story. So you're almost expecting something like there's got to be a double cross or there's going to be this or there's gonna be that.
I think several times throughout it, I think we were jumping to like, it's him, it's this guy, it's
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I really didn't think Kaiser Soze was going to be
Someone
the
you hadn't
Fabio
seen,
that
yeah.
they showed us earlier.
Yeah.
I knew it had to be someone that we've seen or something,
Yeah.
and I just wasn't sure who.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job of like making it a good twist. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any other movies that I would have seen recently, like from this decade, that have had like as big of a twist.
It's kind of lost its fire at the moment. Every once in a while, you get a good movie that has kind of a twist here or there, but as impactful as the '90s have had with twists, and
I think it's like
turns-
Sixth Sense would have come out.
The Sixth Sense was early 2000s. Yeah, 2000.
So it would have been the tail end of the twist.
Yes, that was, and I mean, you've got the M. Night Shyamalan era where he
Yeah.
was known for doing his twists, which that brought kind of into most of the 2000s. But you didn't have so many notable movies. Again, the 90s. I could say some out loud, but I don't know if you've seen them, and I don't want to give you tell you
that's
make
fair.
you think, hey, there's twists in this movie.
Yes.
when you watch it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
I
Serenity.
Yes, Serenity. So I love twist movies, but
Yeah.
if you tell me, oh, there's a twist in this movie, you should go watch it. I'm gonna
You're
figure
looking
out
for
the
it.
twist.
Yeah, I
you're
want to
looking
be.
for it.
Like I'm glad
I
he
wanna
didn't
be
tell me
surprised.
there was gonna be a twist in this movie
Yes.
because I would have paid way closer attention
Yeah,
to
that
every little detail.
there were a few
Yeah.
times where I wanted to kind of joke around. This movie, obviously, when you guys listen to this episode, it's going to be barely any talk of us in the movie. We were just watching this movie, so it was very difficult.
The pacing was so good. I didn't want to interrupt the movie.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of movies that we've watched where I'm like, I can talk here. There's not much happening.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of that.
Or that the plot is so thin that like, like I can interrupt here because like Arnold's just gonna go shoot some people out here, so like it's not a big deal if I interrupt. But this was like, I don't want to stop.
Right.
Pacing was really good.
There were some things I wanted to make a joke about, especially in the movie, right when he was just like, it was Keaton the whole time. He came up with everything, and then he was like, I'm not a rat. I wanted to be like, yeah, you are a rat, but I figured you guys might be like, yeah, wait, he's saying things that he's not. Is he lying? So I didn't want to really say too much to it. I wanted you guys to sit there and enjoy it. So with that being said, this definitely had critically, this was a very big successful movie. It did absolutely launch Bryan Singer's career. It certainly got Kevin Spacey even more notoriety. He had already done several great movies prior to this, but this got him on the fast track of being leading man material. So at this point, let's find out really quick, what was your favorite scene of the movie, Brian?
I think it was the cop heist.
Oh, the Blue Diamond?
Yeah.
Oh, the Diamond heist?
Yeah, the Blue Diamond heist. I think that was pretty great. It was just real smooth, real quick. And I also enjoyed, like, Uncle Moneybags as, like, a quick villain.
Yes.
Where I was like, oh, this guy deserves it. He's got a stepkid somewhere he's neglecting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was cool. The whole ending, that whole crescendo is so good. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pick, like, a scene when that whole pacing of scene after scene after scene, layering the audio and the music together, that was great.
I don't usually go in on my favorite scenes, but I will say that the reveal, the poster board cop reveal with the dialogue behind like the little things you're starting to put it together on the wall and the drop, that was very impactful for me as a child watching this. I watched this shortly after it came out. It may be video release, so we're talking maybe 96. Mm-hmm. So I would have been 11 years old. To me, I didn't have a suspicion that it was going any direction until when that turn happened, and that was huge to me. So today, I still think about that scene. It still gets me excited to see that scene. I literally looked at you guys, just kept looking at you guys to be like, oh, what are they doing? Are they into it? So that kind of that excitement in cinema still does it for me. That's one of my favorite scenes in cinema, like in the past, in my life, in the last 30 years of seeing stuff. This is one of the best, like, just so well edited, so nicely put together. Everything just flowed, and you were like, you knew you were seeing something. You're like, it's all coming together.
I think what was really cool was the moment that the mug dropped too, because the audio cut out for that, and there were several moments throughout the movie that were like really loud. When it cut to the thing, it was loud, and it gave you a sound effect. And so many that used like alternative sound effects. Like there was a scene where you were expecting to hear gunfire, but it was the paint can shaking. And then there was another one where it cut to the corpse, and it looked like the corpse was screaming, but it was the tugboat sound. And there was like alternative sounds for what you were seeing several times throughout, and they were just so impactful because it would cut to you. And then it cuts to the mug drop, and it gave you nothing. Dead silence. And that like made that moment so much more impactful because they never used that throughout the movie except for that one scene.
And the score is starting to build there too.
Yeah.
Joe, favorite scene?
I really liked the scene where that burned up guy was in the hospital bed, and he was just like trying to talk through his burned up vocal cords, and he was just like kind of screaming Kaiser's name. And that's when you kind of and the detective was over him, and the detective was like, what, like the detective doesn't understand the language he's speaking, but he hears that,
he knows that
and
name.
You're like, oh, that's something.
Yes.
And that's when the viewer starts to realize, oh shit, like there's something bigger behind this. This isn't just like a crime scene. This is going into like this like myth of this
Yes.
boogeyman guy.
Like, is Kaiser Soze real? Is this a real thing?
And he was just like, oh shit, we're dealing with something bigger now. So I like.
It's
that
funny
scene.
you mentioned that too, because that's another one of my, again, not necessarily favorite scenes, but it's one that I remember all the time. Is the second time when he brings this other guy who we never know who it is.
Yeah.
But he brings him in and he's just like, tell him what he told me about this at the harbor. Oh, the devil was there, and the guy's like, I gotta go. He's like, tell him what he told me. Who's the devil? And tell him that. And when the guy says it to him in the language, the guy's burnt there, and he cracks a smile. He knows what he wants him to say.
Yeah.
It was like this, the communication was great. I was like, okay, this is how we're going to move forward. Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever heard the name Kaiser Soze before? Like from nothing?
It feels familiar, but I don't think I've heard it.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
That scene felt really familiar, and I think it's because it's a very similar scene that they use in the Godzilla movie. One of them where there's like an old Japanese man in the bed, and they're like, "What was it? What did you see?"
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
"Gojira."
Yeah, and he's trying to say Godzilla. Yeah.
Oh, so good. All right, let's talk the Doof meter. Doof meter 1. Could have lived my life without seeing this right away. It's fine. Doof meter 5. I'm a doof. Why haven't I seen this before? Where are you guys on the doof meter, Joe?
To be honest,
Be honest, man. Be brutally
I'm gonna
honest.
give it a 3. I was gonna say 2.
Wow.
I'm starting to sweat.
Might be our lowest score.
But I decided 3.
Okay.
So had you asked me 20 minutes before the ending, I would have given it a 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
were just
I was
not into this movie.
I was
Until
like
it got
watching
into it.
Yeah, I was like watching. I was like what's up with this movie? Why is it so like either like why am I having a hard time following it? Why haven't I seen any references to like anything?
He's just showing me a movie.
I was like, what's
Wait a
so
minute.
special? I was like, what's so special about this movie? I was like, I might give it a 1, and then it like started to get good near the
Drew
end.
tricked us into watching
then
a
the very
regular
end-
movie.
And then the very end, I really it got a lot good. So definitely a 3. I wouldn't give it. I haven't seen references to this a lot. I feel like, except for that lineup scene. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's super relevant. Definitely really good at the end, but it definitely has that twist. Spoiler alerts, by the way.
At the end,
To all the
spoilers, guys.
viewers, all the listeners. Definitely has that twist, and I love twist movies. So I'm a doof for not having seen it, but I'm not a huge doof.
Yeah, we could have waited even longer in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing that saved this movie, in Joe's perspective, is that it actually had a really good twist to it.
And I guess it made sense for the rest. Like, it kind of made the first hour and 10 minutes, it made it make sense now.
Okay.
Like, now if I were to rewatch it, I would really appreciate it much more.
Love it.
Like the first
there's a
hour,
lot- I
like
bet
the
that we'd
first
see a
hour
lot
of it,
more
I was
stuff.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
this is just another.
Yeah.
We'd like see stuff through the first hour that we're like, ooh, that's
Exactly.
Oh yeah, you'll see the layers. It's another.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a movie that has layers to it, which is cool.
It's like an onion.
Yeah, right. One that you can just bite right into.
Yeah.
Brian, Doof meter. Where are you 1 through 5?
I'm gonna be a little harsher. I'm gonna give it the 2.
Nice. Okay.
I think that the point of the scale is like, should I have seen this?
Mm-hmm.
And there was even a couple people who asked me because they knew we were recording today, like, oh, what are you watching? And told them Usual Suspects. And they're like, oh, I've never seen it. It didn't get the same reaction of like, you haven't seen that? That some of the other movies we've watched have.
Yeah.
And for the same reason, I knew nothing about this movie. Like, I couldn't tell you an actor. I was wrong even when you hinted at like who was in it. I was like, maybe Bob Odenkirk or whatever is one of the. So, yeah, I mean, and even like the mug scene was pretty iconic. The naming stuff off the wall was pretty iconic. There's a lot of that stuff that was like in there, but there wasn't as much as some of the other movies that we've watched. And I just think that if we're going purely off of that pop culture, did I need to see this? It's probably a 2. That being said, the last 20 minutes were fantastic.
Yeah.
The editing and the music throughout were fantastic, and the twist was like really, really good. To where we didn't even guess it until we were really close to the end. So,
All right,
I think it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think as far as our doof
doof
meter,
meter.
it's probably a little bit lower on there.
Yeah.
So this is our lowest doofed movie. So the main reason again that we watched this, and this is my defense, and I'm not asking you to think about or rechange your numbers at all. They are what they are. They stand where they are. The reason this is important is because this had a huge impact on, especially on these twist movies. After this movie came out, it was like a bunch of shitty ones. Like, were forced to come out.
That's fair.
And this also launched a lot of good careers. The biggest, I think, actually. The biggest movie that I've seen that spoofed this was literally the Wayans brothers made Scary Movie, the 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, cool.
And they spoof this at the end. They spoof this whole ending is like shot for shot, pretty much spoofed.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it does get used here and there.
And then no, sorry. It was Scary Movie. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, Scary Movie. Did you see Scary Movie a long time ago?
I
maybe?
did. No. So I thought you were. For some reason, I thought you said Scream.
No.
And then I was gonna say, oh yeah, and then Scary Movie spoof that.
Yes.
But no,
yeah.
You said Scary Movie. Okay.
Yeah, Scary Movie spoofs that, and they have a same exact thing.
Yeah.
So, awesome. I'm going to say that this is a 4 out of 5.
On the Drew meter?
Doof meter of why you have to see it, but my meter doesn't count because I'm not a doof. I've seen this movie. Anyhow.
Yeah, doof rating aside, I'm glad we watched it. I think this was it was a good movie. I'm really glad we saw it.
Yes, awesome. So I think with that, we are going to say goodnight, but before we do, we also want to remind people
that you can follow us at Reel Doofs on Twitter, and that's REALREEL Doofs. And we're also just at Reel Doofs on Instagram, where you can see the amazing works of art that Drew posts every week. Give you a little tease about what the upcoming episode's going to be, and then some other cool stuff and some behind the scenes photos, so follow us on there. And also, if you like what you hear, just give us a review on the old iTunes. We got another one the other day that was really, really good. So thanks, Mom. And
that Brian's so great. Yeah, and also feel free to please drop us a comment on our Instagram, our Twitter, anything like that, just to let us know if you actually like it or not. If you have a suggestion that any feedback's cool. We like that too.
Any movies that you think we should watch? Because
most
of us probably haven't seen them.
Yeah.
And by most of us, I mean Joe and I.
Yeah.
There will be some episodes of the future that Drew hasn't seen.
Yes.
I'm really excited for those.
Mm-hmm.
Should we tease what those are?
No.
We'll keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Cool.
Aside from that, it's all good. So thanks, guys. And I mean, we're at Brian's house, so I can't kick you guys out. But
yeah, I guess we solved that, Kobayashi Maru.
That's it.
Oh fuck. Alexa, turn the lights on.